What's going on, guys? My name is Professor Nigel, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be covering, in hopefully a very concise and direct way, how to play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War's game mode Dirty Bomb. I'm going to try and give a concise overview of how this game mode works and the best tips and strategies that I have so far from playing this game mode. So if you just got this game over Christmas, or you just haven't actually gotten to this game mode and you finally got your squad together, all the best tips and strategies on how to actually get a win in this game mode. So how do you actually earn points, how this game mode works? Let's get into it. This game is all about arming objectives around the map, which are called dirty bombs. You arm these dirty bombs by collecting uranium, which is found throughout the map in different crates and is also dropped when you kill an enemy. You use the uranium to fill the bomb, and once the bomb is filled, you can arm and detonate it to earn points. The game consists of 10 four-person teams, all trying to earn up to 500 points. Points are earned by getting kills, filling the bomb with uranium, and actually detonating the bomb itself. Getting a kill earns you 1 point, filling the bomb gets you 5 points per uranium, and detonating the bomb gets you to 50 points. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the best strategy is to wait for the enemies to fill the bomb, swoop in, and then go and try and detonate to get the max 50 points. However, each bomb requires 20 uranium, and if you do the math at 5 points per uranium and 20 uranium to fill the bomb, you can earn up to a max of 100 points for just filling up the bomb and not even detonating it. This, I believe, is the best strategy on how to win a match of Dirty Bomb. Focus and prioritize filling a bomb rather than detonating it and going for kills. One thing to keep in mind is that as a regular player, you can carry up to 5 uranium. Obviously, all of your team can do the same, so if you all collect 5 uranium, you can arm and detonate your dirty bomb fairly quickly. Another thing to keep in mind is that when you open up crates, you have a chance of collecting also armor, uranium pouches, kill streaks, and armor pouches. Just remember that once you die, everything resets. You drop everything. You drop your uranium pouch, your kill streak, and everything else. So my recommendation is, if you are close to a bomb, if you drop into a building where the bomb is right next to it, and you open up a crate, which usually drops 2 to 3 uranium, collect that uranium, and immediately go and try and fill up the bomb. Don't try and get your max 5, especially because most of the crates around the actual objective, in the buildings around the objective, are limited. There's only a few of them, so once your teammates find those, you need to kind of base out, or you can just kind of start in the surrounding area around the objective to collect your uranium. But again, just remember that once you die, all your uranium and all that stuff kind of resets, so prioritize just getting it to the bomb and focus on nothing else but that. The sooner you get farther away from the bomb, the easier it is to just get caught up in a firefight. Finding other teams along the way is super common, especially with 10 teams. These maps aren't as big as you think, so filling up and locking in those points is probably one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you. Another thing to keep in mind is once the bomb has been filled up, it takes a second to change to be ready to be armed and detonated, and the more people surrounding your dirty bomb, the faster that the bomb will detonate. So for example, once you actually fill up your bomb, if you have all 4 teammates around, it takes a fraction of the time that it would for 1 or 2 people on the objective to actually arm the bomb. This is extremely significant, and especially significant if there are other teams that are trying to arm the bomb, or if you've kind of swooped in and taken another team off the objective who've just filled the bomb. Getting everyone on that objective and not having them go sit up in a mountain on a hilltop trying to pick people off is way, way more advantageous. Getting all your team on a bomb is the absolute way to go. Alright, so now that you've got the basics down on how to play the game, let's get into some other elements and tips and things to keep in mind while playing Dirty Bomb. So first and foremost, next to understanding how the game actually works, how you earn points, and everything that's involved, you need to know the best way to prioritize and the best location on where to land. So obviously, you want to be at an objective where it is only your team. So let's take a basic look at the outlines of just these maps. Remember to just keep in mind that once you detonate all the bombs, the map resets and the bombs show up in different locations. This is also the case not every at the beginning of the match. Not every match starts off with bombs in the exact same location. It's not the same rotation every time. So the two maps that are currently out for Dirty Bomb are Rucka and Alpine. They are fairly big maps. Another thing to keep in mind, and something we'll get into just in a bit, but when prioritizing your best location to land and actually knowing the best place to go to be able to fill up a bomb, you want to go where everyone is not. Now, obviously, this changes from game to game. It's very subjective, and it is never going to be the same. So, for instance, at the beginning of when Dirty Bomb had just came out, when Cold War had just came out, a lot of people went to the central objectives. For an example, on Rucka, the map I'm showing you now, a lot of people went to the objectives E and D. This seemed to change and has changed into this month of December of 2020, and a lot of people kind of prioritize going to the ring of objectives that are kind of on the outside, the ones that are further away, the B or the C in the case of Rucka. Now, this obviously changes with Alpine because one of the variations, all the objectives kind of seem to be on the outer ring, so it's not much of a choice. However, on Rucka, currently my best advice is to go for some of these central objectives. Not a lot of people go there. It's usually pretty easy to fill and get the max amount of points for actually filling the objective. That's my recommendation now. Of course, this is going to change, so if you just notice that a lot of people are coming onto your objective at the beginning of the game, you're getting shot, you're getting absolutely rinsed, and you notice E on the other side of the map really isn't getting filled up, cut your losses, go to that objective. It's definitely a way more useful thing to cut your losses at an objective and go somewhere else, especially if a bomb is getting filled up very quickly and your team really hasn't put a lot of effort into it. Just go to another objective. It becomes a lot easier and a lot more beneficial to your team to actually be filling up an objective and not be focused on B just because you happen to land at it at the beginning of the game. So go to the objective that is completely white. As more uranium is filled up, the objective icons on the map will turn yellow, so that's the easy way to know which objectives to go to and which to not. So just briefly, I'm also going to cover the best classes and guns to use. Obviously, I could probably spend an entire video just going into classes that are best for Dirty Bomb, but just remember that these are fairly large maps, so uses of LMGs and marksman rifles are highly encouraged. The LMGs do a lot of damage against armor. Just also remember that that is an element in this game. It is very similar to Warzone in that you are able to armor up and you find armor in crates, so just remember that. LMGs, marksman rifles absolutely tear through armor, and they're some of the better things to use, especially for the longer range engagements. Another thing is that there are vehicles and kill streaks in this game, especially on Rucka, both maps really. There's a gunship that occasionally spawns, tanks as well as kill streaks that just drop through the crates. So having a rocket launcher or having a couple teammates with rocket launchers is definitely very useful. And unless you're really going into an objective that is in a building and is super close quarters and might happen to be the last objective and everyone's going to it and it's very hectic, lay off of the MAC-10 and the MP5. Don't use it until you're in a situation like that. Of course, you can always change your loadout whenever it's needed, but my recommendation is to use something like the Stoner 63, the RPD, or the Type 63. The M60 has also been very popular, so my recommendations for classes is probably something based around that. Another thing that I think is very, very useful in the equipment section is your special piece of equipment. Using the gas mine and putting that on objectives, it's literal cancer. It is so annoying when you run onto an objective you're trying to arm it and someone has placed a gas mine. However, it is very useful, especially on the last objective. If you place down a gas mine, it gets a lot of people off of it, allows your team to kind of get in there, maybe get a quick arm on the bomb. Another thing that I did not mention prior is that when the last objective is up, you're trying to go for that last objective, it becomes faster as time progresses for you to arm the bomb by yourself. So if you're on the last objective and a couple minutes have gone by, you can arm the last objective very, very quickly. I don't know the exact time frame that it takes to actually get the bomb down to this few second arm time, but that is a thing. So once you get to the last objective, a minute or two has gone by. Just try and land right on the bomb. You might surprise yourself, and it might be a 2-second arm that you can do on your own. So the next part of this video, I'm just going to quickly walk through an entire Dirty Bomb win, walk you through just the basics, everything from the mentality of what we were doing, what we were going for, and how we were actually executing it. And we won this game in, I think, well under 15 minutes. And this has been a winning strategy that I think really, really sets everyone up for success. So let's get into it. So in this game, we are playing on Rucka. In this particular game, I'm only playing with 3 people, myself and 2 others. We do get another random person that joins in to help us later on in the match. However, we are not talking to him. But just to show you how effective this strategy of going to an objective that is not cluttered, that not a lot of people have gone to, and prioritizing actually filling up the bombs is, you can see that just with even 3 players, we are able to quickly arm this B objective, which on this particular configuration of the bombs of Rucka is by the missile silos. So as you can see, we are prioritizing going around the objective, going to the forested areas near the objective, not spending too much time in the actual fenced-in area of the silos. And this is pretty much true for the rest of this game. We're not focused when we land on an objective on finding uranium that's in the buildings that is right next to the objective. Most of the uranium crates are going to be outside of the objective in these forested areas. And as you can see, I've already found about 5, 6 or so of these crates, and we're already pretty close to arming this objective. Obviously, you want all of your team going to different areas, maximizing the area that you guys are searching for uranium, and we are very quickly able to actually arm and fill up this bomb. And as you can see, we're in first place. Obviously, there's another team that is pretty much doing the same thing, doing the same strategy, and they are in first now. However, this attack, this game plan really, really sets you up for success for the rest of the game. So we're easily able to arm this objective and able to get the 50 points. So we're at 150 now. We went to the next objective that wasn't as filled up. However, most of the objectives straight off of the game happen to be filled up. So we went to prioritizing trying to arm some of the last objectives. In this particular case, that was E. Also take note that I'm kind of acting as some anti-air support. I've got my rocket launcher, and I would absolutely recommend trying that strategy of falling out of the air, pulling your parachute, and trying to shoot air support out of the sky like that, because when you're on the ground, you're kind of a lot more vulnerable. When you're in the sky, you can kind of get a few shots off onto some of the air support, the VTOL in this particular case. So we go to the last objective, and as you can see, as I also mentioned before, it becomes significantly easier on the last objective to arm an objective by yourself. I was able to do that in probably a few seconds, where if this was myself just arming a random B objectives while all the other bombs are still up, it would probably take a good 15-20 seconds. But I was able to get in there and arm that bomb. Obviously, it doesn't always happen that way where you're able to arm the last objective. This is where a little bit of luck kind of came into play, and as you're about to see, we land on the farthest objective. Again, this is just because we figure the last objective was on the other side of the map, and we're figuring that most of the players are going to be on that side of the map. They're going to be going to objectives near that, because obviously we spawned right overhead where we just died, so any players who are over there are just going to be spawning on that side of the map, and most of them are going to go to an objective over there. So the other strategy that you can do, and that the team and the person that just killed me did, is that you can kind of just abandon hope on the last objective, and you can kind of go into the other forested areas of the map, collect 5 uranium, have everyone on your team collect 5 uranium, and then go to the an objective, once it just spawns, once the last objective blows up, you all have 5 uranium, and then it becomes really easy to quickly arm, or fill up and arm and detonate a bomb. So for us, we got lucky. We landed on this objective and kind of intercepted these people doing this strategy, so we were able to quickly steal their uranium and actually fill up the objective, and that really set us up for success in this match, I think. We were able to quickly fill that up, pretty much taking all the points for ourselves while also detonating it, and that gave us a really nice 150 point lead. After this, we went to the closest objective that wasn't filled very much. In this particular case, it was E, and on the way, we were able to find crates. All of us were able to get 5 uranium about, and we were able to quickly fill up the bomb and put in our uranium, and that gave us even more of a lead, almost a 200 point lead at this point. Of course, a few people jumped in and tried to steal the objective away from us. That wasn't happening, and we got a few extra spare uranium to be able to actually fill up the E objective. And again, we got everyone near the bomb, especially when you're very close to arming the bomb. Stay around the objective. That is the time to watch it. The time to go, all of you, to go, you know, look around for uranium and stuff like that is at the beginning when the bomb hasn't really been filled up. But once you get close to actually being able to arm the objective and detonate it, that is when you only send out 1 or 2 people to go find your last few uranium. So obviously we got a really quick game in here. We were able to blow up the E objective, and we got to 491 points. So we just went to the last objective, and instead of trying to arm it or anything like that, we just went for kills, obviously, because we only needed about 8 or so kills to actually finish up this match. And that is how we completed this game of Dirty Bomb, got the dub, and got the dub in under 15 minutes. Some of these games run for a very long time. Obviously, some of them might be a little bit more competitive. We also just kind of got a little bit of luck here and there, and that is how it goes sometimes. But really, the biggest thing I can recommend to you is get guys that you can talk to. Get a squad together, get your Warzone squad together, and get people that you can communicate with. This game mode becomes that much easier when you can actually coordinate with people to actually get on objectives and find out how much uranium and all that sort of stuff that they have. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys found this video helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you can hit that like and subscribe for me, that would be a super big help. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.